A train winding through monsoon-drenched jungles, over massive river bridges, diving into tunnels carved through the Western Ghats, this isn't a fantasy. This is the Konkan Railway, one of the most daring engineering achievements in Indian history. Before the 1990s, India's western coastline, from Mumbai to Mangalore, was paradoxically blessed and cursed. It had lush landscapes, a rich coastline, natural resources, and a vibrant culture, but one major problem: it was disconnected. There was no direct railway line connecting Mumbai to Mangalore. To travel south, one had to make a long detour inland, passing through Pune, Bangalore, and Mysore, a journey that took nearly 48 hours by train and more than 36 hours by road. Inaccessible villages, difficult trade, and unsafe travel meant that the Konkan region, despite its potential, was left behind in India's development story. Several feasibility studies were conducted in the 20th century, but all were abandoned. The Western Ghats, steep, unstable, and waterlogged during monsoon, made engineers nervous. Even the British had avoided this region. But in 1989, the government decided to act. A bold proposal was made to connect Roa in Maharashtra to Thokar in Karnataka, a stretch of 740 kilometers, by rail. Enter Sreedharan, the man who would change the course of Indian engineering forever. Appointed as the first chairman and managing director of Konkan Railway Corporation Limited, KRCL, Sreedharan brought with him not just technical expertise, but the belief that impossible was just a word. The Konkan Railway was the first major railway project in India executed by a corporation, not by Indian Railways directly. The states of Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, and Kerala were stakeholders. The rest of the 3,000 Indian rupees crore budget was raised through public bonds and market loans, a revolutionary idea at the time. KRCL had full autonomy, hired its own engineers, and created a new culture of agile decision-making, cutting through the red tape that often crippled public sector projects. What followed was an engineering war against nature. The terrain was brutal: steep cliffs, landslide zones, loose laterite soil, and more than 1,500 water bodies. 92 tunnels, including the 6.5 km Kharbud tunnel, India's longest at the time. 2,000 plus bridges, including the Panvelnadi Viaduct, 65 meters high and over 400 meters long. Constant landslides, flash floods, and monsoon fury that would stall work for weeks. In places where machines failed, human grit prevailed. In areas where no vehicles could reach, materials were airlifted by helicopters. Thousands of workers camped in jungle outposts, working 24/7, often in treacherous conditions. Over 15,000 people worked on the project: engineers, masons, welders, and laborers from across India. They faced poisonous snakes, wild animals, disease, and even death. More than 70 workers lost their lives building the Konkan Railway. Entire villages sprung up around construction sites. Markets, schools, and medical camps followed. The railway didn't just connect regions, it created communities. In January 1998, after just 8 years, far ahead of India's usual project timelines, the Konkan Railway was finally complete. The inaugural train ran from Mangalore to Mumbai, reducing travel time to just 16 hours. The journey became legendary overnight, passing through coconut groves, waterfalls, sea-facing cliffs, and deep green jungles. Tourists, locals, traders, everyone wanted a seat on the Konkan marvel. The impact was profound. What was once considered backward became a hub of opportunity. Tourism exploded in Goa, coastal Maharashtra, and Udupi. Mango, cashew, and seafood trade flourished due to faster transport. Healthcare and education access improved for remote villages. Towns like Ratnagiri, Chiplun, and Karwar were placed on the national map. The Konkan Railway wasn't just a line on the map, it was a lifeline that redefined the destiny of a region. The Konkan Railway didn't stop at laying tracks. It became a testbed for innovation in Indian railways. Developed the Anti-Collision Device, ACD, India's first indigenous rail safety system. Introduced track monitoring sensors to detect landslides and alert drivers. Even tested a sky bus metro in Goa, a suspended rail concept that, though short-lived, inspired future metro innovations. Today, the Konkan Railway is undergoing a major transformation. It is now fully electrified, reducing diesel usage and boosting speed. Semi-high-speed trains like the Vande Bharat Express are being trialed on the route. Plans are underway for double tracking, automatic signaling, and integration with India's dedicated freight corridors. The railway that once connected villages now aims to connect global trade routes. The Konkan Railway is not just steel, bridges, and tunnels. It's a saga of ambition, sacrifice, and the undying Indian spirit. It proved that no mountain is too high, no river too deep, and no dream too big, if we dare to build it. Have you traveled on the Konkan Railway? What's your most memorable moment on this magical route? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of India's greatest engineering marvels, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic infrastructure stories from across India.